maybe another bounty could be you have to stand up out of your chair, run around the stage, get back in your chair, and then still beat your opponent.
Oh,
So
Jay Monty's asking
like
for the crowd. You hear
man.
the crowd cheering.
I think he is really relying on that energy from the crowd to get him started here. He's defending against a Goblin Barrel, the Mega Mini out the right side, swipes it down, and looks like he'll be starting off.
Jay Monty loves being on the big stage. When he was live in Los Angeles for the North American Fall Championship, he was just always dabbing, doing like fun, interesting stuff on stage. I think he's so happy to be here in Austin, able to play in front of a live crowd.
Ooh, bit of an awkward defense on the right side. The Bandit's going to get the dash off, taking it down to 1856. Split push here from Jay Monty, and unfortunately that Lava Hound not drawing fire from the Princess is going to be a little bit misplaced over there on the left side. It's going to get some chip damage from the minions, but as he charges from the left side, a Dark Prince will be here to bash down those guards. Now, we've seen a little bit more Dark Prince recently, Rumham. What do you think of this card?
I love both Princes, so I'm really glad to see Dark Prince back into the meta and seeing some play. Talking about these decks, though. Whoa, the tornado comes in too late. It doesn't pull the balloon away, and a second drop is going to come down for Jay Monty. Now, get this. Jay Monty playing Lava Loon, Lava Hound plus Balloon. It is an all-air aggro deck where you are challenging your opponent to shoot about 5,000 hit points out of the sky before it reaches the tower. Very hard to do. Now, Jay Monty took a lot of damage on both sides tower, but he was able to take that left tower of Razor. So now it is up to Razor to take either that 392 health tower on the left or the 866 tower on the right, or maybe both if he wants to win this game.
That's right. You know, the scoreboard says that Jay Monty is winning, but I think Razor has dealt more damage overall, and he's got a really good chance of being able to turn this into a 2-1 game. This log bait variant that he's playing here performs very well on defense. He's got a lot of cheap cards to be able to push back whatever Jay Monty sends at him. He's kind of missing a little bit of anti-air, though, you know, and especially if he manages to lose out on a tornado hit again, he's going to get in a lot of trouble. But with the right side going down and the left following soon after, Jay Monty has got a lot of pressure on him right now to make this a 3-crown game.
So what you're going to see here is Jay Monty's going all in. Fireball takes out the Princess. Expect a balloon either in the middle or at the bridge to push this tower over. Razor's going to try to keep the pressure up with this Dark Prince on the left, going for that 3-crown victory and preventing Jay Monty from committing 5 elixir to a balloon against this tower.
Fantastic 3-for-4 defense by Jay Monty, though. The guard surrounding that Dark Prince is a little bit difficult to pull off. A naked balloon moving on in, though. We got Spear Goblins shooting away at it. Prince is trying to fire it down. The tower can't finish it off in time, and the drop is good. Jay Monty and Razor are tied 2-2.
Our first game of the first South by Southwest Super Magical Cup event is gonna be a 3-crown victory. We don't see a lot of this in high-level competition. I'm glad both of these players brought all-in decks.
Super offensive decks. They are really committing hard to this next line of attack. Jay Monty defending right now against a big bandit dash in. Goblin stab of the tower down. Barrel at the back sends it into the triple digits, but look out, the Lava Hound's already locked on. If we get a little bit of offensive support from Jay Monty, this could be a lot of damage here. No, the tornado pulls it all back. Balloon and minions are torn apart, shot down out of the sky, and Razor's in a dominant spot as we move into overtime.
Jay Monty says, good game. He's gonna have a hard time stopping all these goblins coming through. The log is gonna take the shields off the guards, and that's going to do it. Razor with the 3-crown victory. Jay Monty of Tribe Gaming is going to sit out for the rest of this hill defense, and Tribe Gaming will send up a new player. Razor, the winner, stays on stage, and he's going to be there until someone can eliminate him. Hey, theoretically, Razor could win 7 hours straight.
Oh, he could.
And just hold the hill and earn 50 jillion points by himself.
7 hours of Razor.
That's what we're tuning in for, 7 hours of Razor. We'll see. Oxalate stepping up, as you mentioned, the North American Spring CCGS champion and a really consistent competitor. He's in community tournaments. He's actually been around playing tournaments on my stream for long before he was ever a CCGS competitor. So this guy is down to play anytime, anywhere. So he is stepping up second for Tribe against Nova's Razor.
It was a squeaker. He came in from the spring season on the 8th and final day of the qualifications, but with an amazing performance in the bracket, blazed his way to the top and had an awesome finish in the spring season at first place. Came back for the fall season and had another amazing finish. Didn't quite make it to Worlds, but with that invitational clinch, managed to go to London, and he is back and ready for some more action up against Razor now. But he lost his teammate already. Tribe Gaming on their heels. Can they send the firepower in to get this tied up against Nova Esports?
Going to be a challenge either way. Now, Oxalate, known initially as a graveyard player, but he diversified a lot over the last year. Started playing the P.E.K.K.A. Ram deck back in the spring season very well. And he's really just kind of diversified his style over the last several months, so I'll be excited to see what he brings here. We have guards and log out early. Kind of hard to read what deck he got based on that, but here comes a Night Witch. We might be seeing some Golem Night Witch action out of Oxalate.
Oh yeah, you don't hardly see Night Witch very much unless she's moving in with the big heavy bodies. The Golem right at bridge to soak damage for this Mega Minion. A Flying Machine coming in up top from Razor right afterwards. Look like he is going for air superiority here with both the Mega Minion and the Flying Machine out back. Night Witch is going to survive some guards action, not here, but not with the Fireball on top of that. Razor is defending against this push very well, and will go in for a little bit of a counterattack here.
Flying Machine, one of the newer cards added to Clash Royale, has taken over the tournament scene. A 4-cost long-range attacker, actually longer range than a Dart Goblin even, has made it a very effective troop at dealing with enemy defensive buildings. It costs 4 and it dies to Fireball, but it's immune to any ground troop. So if you don't have a Fireball or Poison in hand, very hard to remove on defense.
Just about tied up in this left lane. They're both pushing on left side. You know, I tend to think that the heavier deck would win that matchup, but Razor, with this Lava Hound now, has shown that he actually has a really heavy beatdown deck too. With lots of flying troops, it's going to be up to Oxalate to get the Bats value from this Night Witch and to get this Mega Minion to swipe down these heavy flying troops, get them out of the sky so that the big damage flying on in from the Mega Minion and the Flying Machine don't take the tower down.
Historically, Golem has bested Lava Loon in these matchups, but Razor doesn't look like he's playing Balloon. Instead, he's just using the Lava Hound as a big tank and a bevy of air superiority troops you mentioned. Mega Minion, Flying Machine, both really hard to remove. And there's the Balloon. It is the 8th card. We have a ton of hit points coming in the sky. Flying Machine and Mega Minion are there to clean up defenders as the Balloon is trying to inch closer and closer to the tower.
Beautiful tornado from Oxalate pulls away all of those troops. The Baby Dragon splash damage getting a lot of value onto that attack, but he's going to hold on to the damage lead just barely. 1760 out on the left side for Oxalate, 1693 for Razor as they both continue this left lane of attack. Neither one of them letting up on the offense at all. Big tanks marching in once again. Golem for Oxalate and the Lava Hound Balloon push for Razor. It's a huge push, but the Rocket eliminates a big swath of that push. Balloon is just a couple of hit points away from going down, but it might actually get the hit in here.
The Bats get zapped. Great timing.
Barely manages to take out that Balloon before it gets a hit on tower. Still a lot of damage in there from Razor, and not too much from Oxalate on the counterattack. The ground-based push kind of withering away as this big aerial assault continues to hammer away at that left side.
Flying Machine's going to come in. It locks onto the Golem instead of the Baby Dragon. A huge switch there. You're able to get rid of the Flying Machine with that Mega Minion, and now it is just a lone Lava Hound with Baby Dragon weakening it. I don't know if Oxalate's going to be able to get to the tower here, but I think he did a great job defending and at least preventing his tower from going down.
Razor is getting very reliable, good, solid damage in there. He's not ever hitting for more than a few hundred hit points at a time, but the defensive prowess that he's showing off right now is really impressive. An aggressive Golem at bridge from Oxalate to try to provide some cover for this push coming on in, but the Baby Dragons have already evaporated. Oh, actually, it looks like it walks out, flies out of range of the Flying Machine. Flying Machine locks onto the Golem instead, and just a little bit more damage from Razor out there. Oxalate on defense will go for the counter push, but looks like he's just struggling to catch up on damage.
One of the challenges of fighting against Balloon decks is that that Balloon dies near your tower, it's still worth about a Fireball. So for Razor, he can just keep putting Balloons at the river and really trying to push through, and even if they fall short, it only takes about 2 short Balloons to still win the game.
Lava Hound connects to the tower. Yeah, can't do a whole lot of damage on its own. We do need some heavy form of finishing power to come on in.
Fireball
it could be coming
from
this Balloon. Yeah, that's easy, reliable damage, but can we get some death damage from this Balloon? It's getting close.
Fireball's getting there. Zap does it, and the Balloon drop is going to knock out Oxalate. Razor, in his first major North American tournament performance, is going to eliminate 2 members of Tribe Gaming. The 3rd member of Tribe will be coming up shortly, but Razor is looking like he's setting up for a clean sweep of Tribe.
Amazing defensive performance there. You know, it reminds me of the olden days, the Tribes assaulting the fortress. Nova is the fortress right now, pushing off these tribal invaders. Razor with 2 great decks, 2 amazing defensive performances, just got reliable damage in time after time, never really let any of those big Golem pushes hit the tower, and I think it was the duo of Mega Minion and Flying Machine that really did it for him there. What do you think?
Definitely. Flying Machine is going to see a lot of it today. It's a very difficult card to deal with if you're not just prepared. And even if you wanted to fireball it, oftentimes you see Flying Machine in decks with other things you'd want to fireball, like Elixir Collector, Three Musketeers, and more. So it's a very tough card to deal with. I think it was definitely a great support choice there. What'll be interesting in this matchup is Razor played a decent amount of Lava Hound, Lava Loon, in the last game, but Tin2 is known as an Expo and Mortar player primarily. I don't think you're going to want to play Expo. Or, I'm sorry, you're not going to want to play Lava Loon into Expo because he's going to be able to lock onto your tower pretty easily. It's up to Tin2, though. Spring season third-place finisher. He's going to have up to 3 Nova games in front of him, but if Tin2 loses, Tribe is off stage, and we're going to bring Queso up.
It would be an amazing performance from Razor if he manages to 3-0 the entire Tribe. That would be a great position for Nova to hold the hill to start off with. Remember, the first point is going to be awarded to the team that knocks their opponents off this stage first. Tin2 starting off with Spear Goblins up the left side. Just a little bit of a chippy attack, but it's pushed back by Razor. Ice Wizard, the 3-for-2 negative elixir trade, but maybe he'll get a little bit of value on the counterattack here if he wanders in and gets to shoot an Ice Lance off. Nope. Giant to block.
And if you are just joining us from the front page of Twitch, welcome to Super Magical Cup presents Kings of the Hill at South by Southwest. We have 5 of the best esports organizations here in Clash Royale competing in a rotating 3-on-3 format to determine who is going to go home with a $1,200 grand prize.
Massive Fireball Zap combo from Tin2 gets some amazing value knocking down that Mega Mini. Now, the Tornado pulling that Giant onto the King Tower is a great defensive advantage for Razor here. We have got a Sparky coming in from Tin2. Not a common card to see at all, but a massive hit onto that Expo, knocking it down. And it might even get another hit off here if Razor doesn't set up something on defense, logs it back, and that should be enough.
Still, though, if you think of it this way, that's a 6-for-6 trade, Sparky to Expo, and then you force a log out as well. Razor's laughing. He loves the different decks. And what I like about Razor's choice is he picked Expo, assumingly going up against another Expo player. Tin2 ended up playing something that an Expo player would never want to go up against. So Tin2 has a bit of an advantage here, I think, in deck matchup, but Razor has already impressed. So we'll see if he can play his way out of this matchup.
Great move there by Tin2, trying to punish the lack of log in Razor's hand. Sent in the Tank and Spank combo, Giant out in front with the Goblin Gang right behind, but plenty of splash damage from Razor with this Ice Wizard and Tornado. He might even give it a little bit of a chip damage back onto the tower again. Tin2 struggling to get a connection here, but actually, I take that back. He got a big hit earlier on with that Giant hit, but it's going to be up to him to keep pushing back these Expos and prevent the lock. That's really what Razor's looking for here. Can get a lot of damage with just one tiny lock, but a great strike from the Sparky there prevents it once again. Razor looking for an inroad, but
and
not
might have hurt
finding.
Him. Before that Expo was placed, Razor had a 2 elixir advantage, and now he's got a 3 elixir disadvantage. So he really lost on that attempted push, and it's up to Tin2 now to take this elixir advantage and try to push through to turn it around. Fireball's going to come down to weaken the low health Expo as well as putting damage on that tower. Skeletons come down as a really efficient defense for Giant if you can't get rid of them.
Yeah. Bit of a defensive passive play here from Razor, but shooting down that Giant leaves him a little bit better position. Wow, Rocket from Razor will wipe out the Sparky. A 6-for-6 trade in Razor's favor because he gets a ton of tower damage on top of that. Now, if you're just tuning in and you're learning a little bit more about the format here, whoever knocks down the tower first is going to get the win. We've only got 18 seconds left before we go into overtime. The first tower to go down will signal the victor.
Tin2, a longtime Siege player, at least knows the value of this whole Fireball Zap combination. He's been fireballing that tower over and over again. He's not even looking necessarily to get damage on the tower, but by coming in, you're forced to play your troops near the tower, setting up for great fireballs.
A little bit of a dangerous spot here for Razor. He spent a lot of elixir on that back end, trying to get damage onto that left side tower.
Oh no!
With that, it's a huge push coming on in. The Sparky can't lock the tower or either of the Ice Wizards, and with that, Razor's going to hold on. First down to triple digits, but if you can get that good defense set up and prevent Tin2 from connecting, the Rocket Cycle could theoretically win it for him.
He only needs, well, I guess you'd need 2 rockets and 2 logs, and it still might be just a few hit points short. So he really wants a random, like, Ice Wizard attack or a Ice Golem to explode on the tower to make it just a little bit easier. 1 rocket's going to come in. We might, we are going to see him go for the rocket on the tower, not on the Sparky.
Yeah, going in hard. He got the Expo lock onto the Sparky. Wasn't too worried about that. The thing about Tin2's deck that he's got to be a little bit frustrated with, dealing with these spell cycles on the tower is that he cannot build up that big push that he really wants to set up against Razor, because if he sends anything directly behind his King Tower, Razor just throws a rocket, gets easy damage in there, and as you can see now, it's just about tied up, 700 hit points on both left side towers.
Yeah, Rocket is obviously getting there much faster than the Fireballs will. Rocket does about double damage of a Fireball, so if you're just trading spells back and forth, Razor needs one more Rocket. Let's count, he needs 4 cards. He just played Rocket, he played 1, 2, 3, a 4th card, Ice Golem, and now Rocket is back in his hand. Watch it, when he gets to 6, that Rocket's gonna go in the air, and he's gonna try to win this game.
Throws the log out, and that's all she wrote. Razor holding on to defense, reaches that 6th elixir point. The crucial Rocket for the win, undefeated. Razor from Nova Esports will claim the hill first. The first